If you're a man over 50, you've probably heard the same lie repeated until it sinks into your bones. Your best years are behind you. You feel it when younger men at work stop asking for your opinion. You sense it in your doctor's tone when he talks more about managing decline than building strength. You even notice it in the eyes that once looked your way, but now pass by without a second glance. Society whispers that your value is fading, and you're expected to swallow that insult in silence. But here's the truth: you're not finished. You are not fading. In fact, for the first time in your life, you carry the scars and lessons and the wisdom that make you more dangerous than ever. Modern science backs it up. Studies show that the right mindset and habits can keep you sharper, stronger, and more resilient well into later decades. This isn't a pep talk. It's a call to arms, not to fight the world, but to reclaim your presence. Because age doesn't weaken you, it sharpens you. And starting today, you'll see why the years ahead are not a slow decline, but the season of true power. The power of stillness. When you were young, you ran toward everything: money, recognition, approval, validation. The chase felt endless, and the noise was constant. But as you get older, you begin to see the truth. 90% of what people pursue doesn't matter, and the other 10% can't be bought. That's where stillness comes in. Stillness is not passivity. It is controlled power. It's the difference between wasting energy trying to fix everyone around you and conserving your strength for the few things that truly count. Picture an older lion in the wild. He doesn't rush after every movement. He waits. He knows when to strike, when to stay silent, and when to let the chaos burn itself out. That's not weakness, it's mastery. Science even confirms it. Research on mindfulness shows that practices of stillness increase heart rate variability, a key marker of resilience in your nervous system. Other studies prove it improves sleep quality and lowers blood pressure in older adults. In other words, stillness doesn't just feel powerful. It rewires your body to handle life with more control. And here's the paradox: the quieter you become, the heavier your presence feels. People sense it. Women notice it. Younger men respect it. You stop being a man desperate for attention and become a man whose gravity draws others in. If you've ever felt the power of quiet strength in your own life, type still in the comments. Unapologetic masculinity. There comes a moment in every man's life when he faces a choice: shrink to fit the modern world, or stand tall like a mountain that others must walk around. Too many men past 50 are told to soften their voice, to lower their standards, to apologize for being direct. But masculinity is not a flaw to be hidden. It is the rarest currency in a world that grows weaker by the day. Unapologetic masculinity isn't about being loud or aggressive. It's about existing without folding. It's the firmness in your tone, the way you take up space without asking permission, the calm steadiness in your gaze that makes another man look away first. You don't owe political correctness to people who haven't walked a day in your shoes. You've earned the right to speak plainly, and science once again echoes this truth. Researchers have found that body language, simple things like sitting with an open posture, holding eye contact, and speaking from the chest, instantly increases perceived confidence and even romantic attraction. Strength doesn't always need a shout. Sometimes it's felt in the silence between words. The world doesn't need older men who shrink back. It needs men who are solid, immovable, and unashamed of the fire that still burns within them. So stop apologizing for who you are. Stand tall, speak slowly, hold your ground. They will adjust. Try this tomorrow. Hold eye contact 1 second longer than usual and notice how the room shifts. Reclaiming discipline. They say men peak in their 30s, but that's a lie built on vanity and short-term strength. The real peak comes when a man decides to master himself, and that decision can be made at 60 just as easily as 30. Discipline is the bridge between the life you settle for and the life you were meant to live. Discipline is not about punishment, it's about dignity. It's the quiet respect you show yourself every time you wake up early instead of hitting snooze. It's the way you fuel your body with real food instead of cheap dopamine. It's the choice to spend your mornings in reflection training or stillness rather than scrolling through noise that steals your clarity. Science is blunt here. Resistance training, even just 3 days a week, preserves leg strength in older men for years beyond retirement. Studies confirm that men who lift heavy into their 60s and 70s keep their mobility, their balance, and their independence. And nutrition matters just as much. Research shows men over 65 need at least 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight every single day to maintain muscle mass. Discipline is not about following trends. It's about building a body and mind that will carry you with pride into the decades ahead. Every action now echoes. You're not just living for yourself, you're leaving a blueprint. Younger men are watching you, whether you realize it or not. Show them that discipline doesn't fade with age, it matures. If you train today, or if you promise to train tomorrow, type discipline in the comments. Let the younger men see that you're still building. Women attraction without chasing. By the time you reach 50, something changes. The games lose their shine. The thrill of chasing fades into exhaustion. You stop caring about impressing every stranger and you start wanting to be met where you truly are. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop chasing women is the very moment you start attracting them. Not the ones chasing status, not the ones looking for a wallet, but a rare kind of woman who recognizes quiet strength and leans into it. Because attraction at this age isn't about youth or flash, it's about presence. Psychologists have proven it. In one study, men who simply adopted open postures and steady eye contact were rated significantly more attractive and confident by women meeting them for the first time. It wasn't about wealth or looks or even words, it was about presence. The body doesn't lie. So stop trying to dress like you're 25. Stop fighting the gray. Wear your wisdom. Speak from your chest, not your throat. Walk like a man who doesn't need approval because approval comes to him naturally. And once you stop burning energy on the chase, something profound happens. Your focus shifts. You start thinking less about being seen and more about what you'll leave behind. That's when you enter the final stage of strength legacy. If you've ever noticed that power attracts more than pursuit type attract in the comments, legacy mode activated. There comes a point in a man's life when he realizes it's not about what he takes with him, but what he leaves behind. Legacy isn't measured by cars, titles, or paychecks, it's measured in people. The conversations you've had, the examples you set when no one was watching, the wisdom you passed down that outlives you. Science backs this deeper truth. A major study of American adults over 50 found that men with a strong sense of purpose had a significantly lower risk of death. Purpose doesn't just inspire, it sustains life itself. And programs where older men mentor younger generations show something remarkable. After 2 years of mentoring, older adults not only feel more meaning, but brain scans reveal growth in regions tied to decision-making and memory. In giving, they grew stronger. This is legacy, not a stone in the ground, but a fire in someone else's chest. You become the man younger men quote at their own turning points. You become the steady hand they remember long after you're gone. So step into legacy mode, because the final chapter is not the end, it's the time when everything counts the most. If someone left you wisdom that changed your life, honor them by dropping their name in the comments. If you feel this message deep in your bones, type "I'm not done" in the comments and let the world see it. And if you're ready to stop being talked down to, hit subscribe. Remember, this age doesn't weaken you, it sharpens you. Your best years are right now.